the globe. We take you on our top story, Vice President pick. It seems like the India bloc has chosen a man who might just give tough competition to the NDA candidate despite the NDA having the numbers. We're going to take you through the politics of it and of course the narrative building. And we're looking at in Telangana, fury over Marwari community increasing in footprint, their economic status and the fact that they're doing well, fairly successful in Telangana. It seems like the locals are now resenting it, saying that Marwaris are carrying out unfair trade practices and they should go back. And finally, we will take you through the India-China talk. It seems like Wang Yi, the Foreign Minister of China, has met with Prime Minister Modi just a few moments ago. A lot that has been spoken. All of that and more right after the headlines. Prime Minister Modi agrees to attend the SCO summit in Tianjin, China, after receiving President Xi's invitation via Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi during talks in New Delhi. The fresh images of Wang Yi and Prime Minister Modi meeting moments ago. At the 24th Special Representatives Meet, Wang Yi, the Chinese Foreign Minister, and NSA Ajit Doval today held comprehensive and fruitful talks on China-India boundary dispute and border ties. China says Xi-Modi consensus has set the direction with relations now on a steadier path. Also basically suggesting that the bully should be fought, hinting at the United States. Opposition parties unanimously field retired Supreme Court Judge B Sudareshan Reddy as their joint vice presidential candidate, calling it an ideological battle against the BJP pick. In fact, here you have Justice Reddy, a former Supreme Court judge who's been picked. He's also an ex-Goa Lokayukta. That's the India bloc's choice. 21 people have died since August 15th owing to heavy downpour rains. Relentless, that's lashed Maharashtra. Mumbai itself logged 300 mm rainfall with red alert issued across the Konkan region. Farmlands submerged, trains halted, flights delayed as the state battles worsening monsoon crisis. Mumbai monorail train stalled mid-track amid heavy rains, trapping nearly 100 passengers. In fact, what we hear now is that nearly 300 passengers have been evacuated from there. 150 of them are stranded. Officials there working around the last few hours to ensure people are out safely. But a power cut is what led to this monorail halting for hours. Devendra Fadnavis overseeing the evacuation process. Dharmastala's Virendra Hegde, the Dharmadhikari, turns the allegations of mass burial and rape against the temple authorities or whoever linked to the temple is absolutely false and a smear campaign hinting at a conspiracy to malign the temple premises. He says the Karnataka SIT will dig out the truth. Multiple sites of excavation has happened. In fact, many spots have been excavated. And they're awaiting a DNA test. Dharmasthala Dharmadhikari says we are open to whatever the SIT probe has to say, but truth will come out. After 3 cases and 1 death in Kozhikode, Kerala, health officials warn of a rare but deadly brain infection caused by free-living amoeba in stagnant water. In fact, the disease hasn't spared the one child who was infected. A girl has passed away. Young girl, 9-year-old, has passed away due to this rare disease that's now spreading in Kerala. Gill replaces Axar Patel as T20 vice captain, a move seen a step towards his elevation as India's future all-format skipper. Shubman Gill and Jitesh Sharma make a comeback to India's T20 squad as Yashasvi Jaiswal and Shreyas Iyer miss out in the 15-member Asia Cup lineup. Zelensky says talks with Trump went very well. while the United States president claims a ceasefire isn't needed even as France and Germany push for one at the earliest. Donald Trump says that he has spoken to Putin to arrange a summit between the two wartime presidents. But the irony here is while there's an attempt to strike ceasefire and talks are happening in United States between Russia, Ukraine with Trump, here you have information coming in that Russia has attacked a part of Ukraine just today. All right, let's start with the vice president battle. The election is yet to happen, barely a few weeks now. But it seems like the India bloc has sprung a surprise in its vice presidential race, naming Justice B Sudareshan, in fact, Sudareshan Reddy, a respected former Supreme Court judge from Andhra Pradesh. Sudareshan Reddy is the India bloc's pick. Now, a non-political face that the man is, he's a proud Telugu son, a jurist with decades of service. The opposition has not just played this symbolic but also quite strategic. It appears to be a strategic card that the opposition has played despite not having the numbers. It very well could be the NDA candidate who wins. But here with Sudarshan Reddy's announcement, the opposition has really set tongues wagging. This comes 2 days after the NDA named its own candidate, CP Radhakrishnan, veteran BJP leader who's RSS-rooted, current Maharashtra governor. His projection as a Tamil OBC leader was aimed at consolidating the BJP's southern outreach quite clearly, particularly in Tamil Nadu. Now, by numbers, the NDA is comfortably placed with 293 MPs in the Lok Sabha and 133 in the Rajya Sabha. It crosses the 392 mark quite easily, which is needed to win. Now, on arithmetic alone, we see the NDA candidate Radhakrishnan looks set to take chair. He's going to soon be the Vice President of India if at all things go well as per the numbers. Well, they have the numbers, so no guesses that he indeed might take the throne. But the opposition's move here has shifted the political battlefield altogether. For Chandrababu Naidu's TDP in Andhra Pradesh particularly, who's a key NDA ally, this is certainly such an awkward test because you have a Telugu man fielded by the India bloc and TDP not supporting a Telugu face as a vice president will really leave them embarrassed, likely. Not voting for a Telugu candidate or voting against a Telugu candidate, what kind of discomfort will this bring to the NDA ally, the TDP? It mirrors exactly what happened in Tamil Nadu when the BJP's Tamil choice put the DMK in the spot. Radhakrishnan is Tamil, and this is similar sentiment that plays out even in Tamil Nadu with DMK now will be certainly pulled up for not backing a Tamil candidate as the vice president of India. So it seems like the India bloc has tried to mirror the sentiment that's happened in Tamil Nadu now in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. India bloc has turned the tables with Tamil pride to Telugu pride now. Other southern players are also under the spotlight. Of course, India bloc now trying to woo the Telugu parties like Jagan Mohan Reddy's YSRCP as well. They're also trying to push for KCR's BRS to support the Telugu candidate. Ideally, both these parties are seemingly supporting the NDA candidate Radhakrishnan. But now you have a Telugu man in the fray, so what do? It's going to be very interesting to see what pans out. Beyond the numbers, this is also ideological. A retired judge with no RSS roots. In fact, Sudarshan Reddy has no RSS roots. He's an institution man as opposed to the BJP fielding a man with deep Sanghi ties. He's an RSS man. And of course, this is an ideological battle is what the India bloc has said and precisely how the choice has been made as well. So while the NDA holds the math, India bloc has played the mind game. This election may not change result, but it surely has shaped a narrative. So the big question here we asked tonight, vice president election or southern political war? Has the India bloc checkmated the NDA in this battle for perception? Well, let me take you through our panelists joining us for a little more in detail on what this means electorally and just the fact that you have two southern candidates by the India bloc and the NDA. This seems like more of a southern battle, of southern face-off ahead of Kerala, Tamil Nadu elections. We have RP Singh, thank you very much, sir, spokesperson of the BJP joining us. We also have Dr. Pooja Tripathi, national spokesperson of the Congress, and KV Prasad, senior journalist. So let me take this to RP Singh first. Sir, the India bloc's choice of a Telugu judge, has this put your ally Chandrababu Naidu in uncomfortable shoes? Were you expecting this? Was this a surprise that the India bloc sprung at you?
Bella, I'm shocked. Why are you doubting the NDA alliance outcome? I mean, Chandrababu Naidu ji has already said that he's going to support to be the next vice president. But speaking about the present contestant from the India alliance, just the India alliance is actually saying it's an ideological war. I mean, they place a person who represents the ideological war, and he was the one who struck down Salwa Judum judgment and in 2011, and because of that, Naxalism had a say in that region, and that led to even the upsurge in Naxalism in that region. And but he has taken some U-turns also in his judicial and his social life. He struck down the case of reservation, Muslim reservation, but again, it went other way around when he was heading a committee appointed by Telangana government upholding the reservation of Muslims. So this is the caliber and the stature of the man. I mean, he is the judge, former judge, all the best to him. But also that when he was the, you just now said he was the person who was heading the Goa government position on and at that time, all the Congress party and their allies said that he is a BJP man, he is a yes man, and that's why they were opposing him. Today, he is their hero. So all the best to them. But as far the number goes, we are surely going to win the election.
No, so you said, why am I already concluding the outcome? I'm not concluding the outcome, and this is, well, it's clear, and let me make it clear to our viewers as well that Chandrababu Naidu has said there's no dispute on that. They are going to be supporting the NDA pick, which is Radhakrishnan. But the question here is, the same BJP is now going to go to town if the DMK does not choose Radhakrishnan, who comes from Tamil Nadu. Will that not be your stance, that Radhakrishnan from Tamil Nadu will not have the support of the DMK?
Well, it's up to DMK to take a call and take a stand on this, whether they are going to support OBC leader from the Tamil Nadu or not, because they have never supported OBC leadership otherwise. It is only BJP who has propped up OBC leader right from, I remember, Kalyan Singh to Uma Bharti to Babulal Gaur to Shivraj Singh Chauhan, now Mohan Yadav. So we are the one who has been, and even the Prime Minister for that regard, Modi ji himself is the OBC leader. So we have been propping up OBC leaders, but now otherwise they talk of PDA, they talk about jiska jitna hak utna. They picked up a candidate who's ideologically diametric to the national objectives, so they have the right.
So this is precisely what the DMK stance has been. In fact, before I get to our guests, I'm going to cut across to some reactions, including Kanimoi. Right. Let's hear it.
The political message is this is an ideological struggle, ideological fight. So the opposition parties, all the parties come together to choose one single candidate as against a candidate who comes from a Hindutva background, a RSS background, and we are opposing the BJP candidate. And this is a divisive politics which they've been propagating, trying to propagate in this country. And that is what our answer to that is to bring in a person who values the constitution. They are trying to do away with the constitution. They've never respected the constitution or the parliament. The candidate which the opposition has chosen is a person who respects the constitution of this country and also the people of this country.
கிடைக்கவில்லை என்றால் ஏன் கிடைக்கவில்லை என்று கேட்பதற்கு தான் போயிருக்கிறேன். என்னுடைய நாடு முக்கியம், தமிழ்நாடு முக்கியம். எனக்கு இது தமிழ்நாட்டையும் மனதில் கொண்டு இருப்பவர்கள் யார் என்பதை தான் தேர்ந்தெடுக்க வேண்டும். எங்கள் கூட்டணியில் பல ஆளுமைகள்.
Nadu Mukyam, Tamil Nadu Mukyam. So it seems like the state and the community both are important, but ultimately it's the ideology that works will ultimately be their choice. So India Bloc makes it clear that it's an ideological fight and nothing else. Ms. Pooja, your take on what we see here today, India Bloc's election. If numbers are stacked against you, we know very clearly that the NDA has the numbers. So there's a very slim chance that your candidate Sudarshan Reddy will make it as the vice president, but nonetheless you all have made a pick which seems more symbolic if anything. Do you want to spell it out?
Nabila, as my senior leaders have mentioned it very clearly, it's an ideological battle, and let's ask the BJP spokesperson, let's ask the present dispensation, why did this battle arise? What led to Mr. Dhankar's unceremonious exit, that he would not deemed enough to be given a farewell. A respectable vice president was not even given a farewell. And where is Mr. Dhankar since his resignation surfaced online? He's nowhere. He's nowhere to be seen, not in his residence, not in his personal capacity, nowhere. So the problem is, in opposition of this most coveted, most respected to the power of 6 RSS man, we have fielded a person who's an eminent jurist, and in his whole legal career, from high courts to Supreme Court, everywhere, as a Lokayuk, he has been known for upholding constitutional values, ensuring that the rights of, rights of marginalized are not trampled over, and access to justice and access to education was the forefront of his landmark judgment. Just now, R.P. Singh ji mentioned his landmark judgment of terming Salwa Judum as unconstitutional, his striking down of army reservation policy for its own board, also laying down guidelines for PIL. I remember, Nabila, I was reading about Justice B Sudareshan Reddy before coming into the show, and I read 2 of his profound judgments, which actually deeply impacted me. One was where he was, giving a judgment on tribal land being overtaken by government for a public project, where he said that the tribals cannot be left at the mercy of a government. They had the first right over the resources. Second, he was giving judgment on public properties, that public property is not government property. It's by the public and for the public, and government is just a trustee. So we are very happy that, a very eminent legal brain, a person who was not fair, he was not afraid to speak his mind, go against the authorities, upholding the constitutional values is our India's pick. And let's see, our numbers are definitely not in favor, but this is an ideological battle. RSS has actually captured.
So, we know the numbers are not in your favor, but you all are also hoping against hope that KCR, YSRCP, TDP will all come on board. So all the political parties, Chandrasekhar Azad, all parties in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh will come together and bat for your candidate. Isn't that a push?
Exactly, that's the push, and we want to take this fight. This fight to save the constitution, and who better than an eminent
So you are putting up a fight. Now I just wanted to get that clear. You are putting up a fight.
Definitely we are putting up a fight. We cannot let an RSS man, when 62% of SANIC schools are being captured by RSS people, when ISCHR, when BHU Executive Council, when Vice Chancellors are RSS, we cannot. And why is this RSS man being picked? Because RSS has set a timeline for Modi ji's retirement, where RSS is giving sermons on education and health to the present government. Why is RSS man being picked? And we see one RSS man, we saw one RSS man, Mr. Dhankar, who bent down the present dispensation and how he was exited. We don't want a yes man. We want a person who will look into the eyes of the ruling government and say that this is wrong, who will chair the Rajya Sabha in a very impartial and a very, very neutral manner, as deemed fit for a Rajya Sabha chairman, and who will not give us respected respected and coveted and most respected and coveted to the power of six. He would be the person of his own words. He would be the person of his own mind and not being run by, the Gujarat factories.
Okay. KV Prasad, who's a senior journalist, possibly would give us a little more perspective here into what we see. The India bloc's move, does it really have any potential to split votes? The numbers are stacked in favor of the NDA, but with this surprise, Sudarshan Reddy, who seems to be a strong man in his own right, a Telugu son, of course, the Congress is attempting to unsettle the NDA allies, but do you believe there's going to be a divide here?
Well, Nabila, on two factors I would like to just point out. One is very clear that the India Alliance has come out, India Alliance or whatever you could call them, has come out with a name which is certainly out of the box in understanding. But my understanding is there were two compulsions. One, they needed to carry the entire coalition together. There was a pressure from one end of the coalition, what I gather, is that they wanted a Tamil to compete against Mr. Radhakrishnan, the candidate from BJP. That was one aspect. The other aspect was one of the allies was insisting on having a non-political or a political person as a consensus candidate for the opposition. So these pulls and pressures within obviously was at work, and the candidature of Justice Reddy is a definite move forward. Well, the question that you've been asking, will it split votes? There are two ways to look at it. One, remember, while parties and leaderships are committed their votes, these votes, they cannot be delivered per se because this is a whipless election. So each member of parliament is free to vote the way he or she wants to vote. And I'm reminded of the 2017 elections of the President of India. At that point of time, one of the Aam Aadmi Party MPs, who was not with the NDA candidate, voted for an NDA candidate, Mr. Ramnath Kovind. So this is perfectly, these cross-votings I've seen cross-votings happen in Mr. Bhairav Singh Shekhawat's time and much later. Whether you call it cross-voting, that is voting across party lines, because it's a whipless election, there are members who have individual contacts, individual relationship with the contesting candidates. And that's where it happens, Nabila.
So, but Congress's attempt to unsettle allies, I have one question to ask you. Could really Chandrababu Naidu's TDP feel that political cost? Will they really feel the heat from the people of Andhra for not supporting Telugu son?
Certainly. No. One thing is Naidu and TDP will not cross over per se. That's very clear. Of course, they made an official statement. There is nothing to also, if you really look at the Andhra politics, this is a Reddy candidate versus the Kama party which the Telugu Desam represents. So they have an issue within the political setup, but I don't know whether that will extend to the vice president election, number one. Number two, I don't see if Mr. Naidu doesn't vote or his MPs doesn't vote, sorry, Naidu cannot vote himself, so the MPs do not vote. Certainly, it will give a handle to the Congress party in particular and the India Alliance to go about in town and say, look, and remember, there is one more aspect which we probably will not miss is there is a Jagan YSR party.
I was just coming to that. Jagan has already said seemingly that he's going to support the NDA candidate.
Again,
this is what I hear.
You see, Jagan is a Reddy party. It's a very, very strong Reddy candidate.
So the impact falls more on him, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, certainly it's a political calculation. Whether it works that way or not is simply, I think you mentioned of the chessboard. This is just placing the coins to challenge the opponent. It's not a cakewalk. Certainly, the numbers are stacked against it, but it's a very nice political maneuver that the India has done.
A quick word, and who do you count in on Sudarshan Reddy from the NDA side? I mean, you say that TDP will not cross vote. Who, in your guess, could likely do so?
Jagan's party is one possible, and we don't know how the BRS is going to play out. Again, it's a Telugu candidate. He is from Rangareddy district, which is outside Hyderabad. So the Telangana Rashtra Samiti has its own politics in Telangana. So he's a Telangana man too for them. So I mean, those are issues. As I said, these are individual decisions. Finally, MPs are free to vote the way they want to vote. While the party can say that this is our party's preference, but largely it will be left to the members of parliament. As I said, individual relationships do play a role in this. Nabil.
And if at all YSRCP and BRS votes in favor of the India Bloc candidate, who do you think Radhakrishnan may lap up from Tamil Nadu?
No, in any case, the Congress, the BJP and the allies would go to town tomorrow morning and say, listen, the DNK did not support a Tamil candidate. Fair enough. That drum will be beaten just as in TDP's case. But that's political. That's politics. But very clearly they say it's an ideological issue. So I'm sure they're going to play the ideological card where they've come out very clearly. It is for them to convince the electorate as they go into elections in 2026. Nabil.
All right. Sir R.P. Singh, a quick word on the positioning and posturing the BJP has exuded by fielding Radhakrishnan right in time for Tamil Nadu elections. Is this political posturing?
Well, you can construe whatever you want to as a journalist, but fact is that CP Radhakrishnan has a background, a social background, where he has contested 2 elections and won 2 elections in Tamil Nadu itself from Coimbatore, and he has been governor of 4 states. So he knows the administration. He's been a public figure. But talking about that point which you took up about Chandrababu Naidu, well, I don't think Chandrababu Naidu ji or anyone from the state of Andhra would like Naxalism to come back in Andhra Pradesh. I mean, with great efforts, Naxalism has been weeded out from Andhra Pradesh. And then a person who gave a decision which led to further enhancing Naxalism in the country, which led to furthering the Naxalism in that region, the Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, and that complete region. So why would Chandrababu Naidu like to vote, or his people like to vote for a person who can put their state in trouble at some given time later, at a later stage, if that man comes on that that judge comes on that ideology which supports the Naxal ideology?
Okay. We heard you. A final word from Pooja Tripathi on that. Well, you have a tainted candidate. That's precisely what Mr. R.P. Singh has said, more or less. Your final word on the Congress and the India Bloc collectively attempting to pitch a man, according to you, who comes from a clean institution, who was a former Supreme Court judge, versus a man with an RSS ideology.
Also had very harsh words for us when on the issue of black money. So he is not in any way a tainted man. He's an eminent jurist, a person with a clean and spec image. And we just had constitutional club elections, and we have seen how the one-line whip followed by all BJP MPs is being weakened, and the central authority of Odisha is weakening. So I hope that the parties listen to their conscience and they vote for a very eminent jurist who's very deemed fit for the Rajya Sabha chairman. And that's what we are hoping for in Justice B Sudareshan. 395,
396 odd votes is what the person needs. Yes, sir?
Well, how could you forget that he is OBC? And then...
you conveniently remember somebody...
I never interrupted you, ma'am. I never interrupted
you
once.
I don't think this has anything to do with OBC or caste or region.
How can you forget a candidate is OBC?
It is political calculus. The cards are stacked, and we're going to see what happens. Well played by the India Bloc. Perception-wise, it seems like they won the battle because we're having a debate despite the numbers not being in their favor. But I apologize, all of you. I barely have the time. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all of you joining us here today. A quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Chandigarh, Coimbatore, NCR and Bangalore, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Raipur and Hyderabad. We've been here, we've been there, Veka's been just everywhere.
Papa, let's go to Duda. Happy birthday, Duda. Duda, I love you. Go, Duda, go. I love my Duda.
Skoda. पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है।
Go condoms?
It's over there.
क्या ये different sizes में आता है?
Actually, sir, size matter नहीं करता.
तो फिर क्या matter करता है?
The hardness
Of the condom.
of what's inside.
For the first time ever, presenting Hard Rock Gel, the hardness gel for men.
अब free हर score condoms के 10 pack के साथ.
ये बेस्ट है मैम.
पर पहले वाला क्यों नहीं?
अजय भाई, this one's for you. नया बिरला ओपस पेंट्स देने के लिए.
ऐसा क्या है इसमें?
एडवांस क्वालिटी और बिरला ओपस एश्योरेंस एक्स्ट्रा.
एक्स्ट्रा?
एक साल में पेंट को कुछ भी हुआ तो पेंटिंग वापस करके देंगे.
वापस करके देंगे? वापस करके देंगे? वापस करके देंगे?
वो भी फ्री.
फ्री? पटेल भाई!
यस मैम.
You're a rock star.
क्वालिटी पे इतना कॉन्फिडेंस, इसलिए बिरला ओपस एश्योरेंस. एक साल में पेंट को कुछ भी हुआ तो पेंटिंग वापस करके देंगे. रजिस्टर करो birlaopus.com पर.
आम पेन रिलीवर एरोसोल स्प्रेस में है, दवा के साथ हवा. मगर डायनापावर QPS प्लस में है सिर्फ दवा ही दवा. इसलिए डायनापावर QPS प्लस चले ज्यादा. डायनापावर QPS प्लस सिर्फ 91 रुपए में. लगा के देखो, मान जाओगे.
If this is not what is. In Amanagallu, Telangana, slogans of Marwadis go back are ringing out. The controversy first flared after a confrontation where members of the Jain Marwari community allegedly assaulted a man from a marginalized caste over a silly parking issue. Casteist remarks were reportedly hurled by some of the Marwaris, and that incident has now snowballed into a massive showdown and a campaign of sorts carried out by the locals there, demanding Marwaris go back. Protesters have now, of course, raised several issues, accusing Marwari and Gujarati traders of cornering Telangana's markets, in fact, trying to edge out locals and sell counterfeit goods, accusing them of unfair trade practices. Local traders in Telangana there accusing Marwaris of breaking an earlier pact and expanding businesses unchecked, employing mostly people of their own community. Imagine a simple parking spat that happened in Sikandrabad spread so quickly to other parts of Telangana, spiraling into a statewide campaign now that says, "Go back Marwari." The Marwari community has responded, hitting back, calling these charges as completely baseless. They say that they have lived here for decades in Telangana, selling only government-approved products, employing locals too, and that they're being unnecessarily targeted because they are successful. In fact, the BJP has thrown its weight now behind the Marwaris. Union Minister Bandi Sanjay calls the campaign politically driven, blaming the Congress, the BRS and AIMIM of fueling hostility to divide the Hindu community. In fact, the BJP leaders there praises Marwaris as defenders of Sanatan Dharma and contributors to Telangana's economy, and even accused the Congress government of ignoring illegal Rohingya migrants instead. Listen in.
హిందూ ధర్మాన్ని సనాతన ధర్మాన్ని కాపాడే వ్యక్తులు కాబట్టి వాళ్ళందరూ భారతీయ జనతా పార్టీకి అనుకూలంగా ఉంటారు, హిందూ ధర్మానికి అనుకూలంగా ఉంటారని చెప్పి ఒక ప్లాన్ ప్రకారం ఇదంతా జరుగుతున్నది. ఇలా గుజరాత్లు ఈ సంపద దోచుకొని రాలే, అధికారం కోసం వీళ్ళు వస్తలేరు. మాకు అధికారం కావాలని వాళ్ళు అంటలేరు. ఇవాళ మాకు ఈ తెలంగాణ సంపద దోచుకోవడం కోసం వస్తలేరు. వాళ్ళు వ్యాపారాలు చేసుకుంటున్నారు. ఇలా మార్వాడీలు ఎవరు కురవుతుంది చెప్పిస్తలేరు.
Well, the clear-cut question here is, Marwaris go back where? For the unversed, Marwaris have been an integral part of Telangana's commercial life since the Nizam era. Expanding after Hyderabad's merger with India in 1948, they've been integral in business, not just in Telangana and many parts of South India. They are known for their business acumen. They've adapted to local cultures, learned the language there locally, have diversified beyond trade into manufacturing, finance, technology and whatnot. They are the masters in business, and it appears their success has drawn resentment more than once and more than in one state. Let's take, for example, in Karnataka. Very recently, I myself witnessed the KRV heckling the Marwari traders there over Kannada signage mandates. We hear similar instances have happened even in Tamil Nadu, where the Marwari community has faced hostilities. Now, the Marwari community, if anything, has contributed immensely to the society. They've built markets, they've generated jobs, they've powered local economies. Why should fair competition instigate hate? Is this anger misplaced? Resentment against an outsider community, so-called, filling the void that was left by locals themselves. A community that's doing well for themselves and for the state, contributing to the state's economy, somehow seems like it's not boding well with the local communities because they feel that their jobs are being snatched away, that their market space has been filled up by the Marwadis and whatnot. Is this more to do with hate? How come nobody's talking about policy failure? Well, joining me tonight for a little more on this, Bura Narsaya, senior leader, the BJP Telangana, former MP of the Lok Sabha. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us here today. We also have Adanki Dayakar, spokesperson of the TPCC, the Telangana Pradesh Committee in Telangana, and also Sai Shekhar, senior journalist. I really appreciate all of you for joining me here tonight. A quick word from the Congress representative here, as you're in power in Telangana. Genuinely, the state is doing fairly well. Telangana, in that sense, has enough and more contribution from the Marwari community. Of course, you'll have to stand up for your local traders, your local communities, but at the same time, you can't encourage this kind of open hate campaigns. Go back Marwaris. I mean, this is absolute hate. If the same Congress party talks about minorities being marginalized, victimized, I don't see any different here.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am, and also my panelists. So, firstly, we are against to the Marwadi go back, Congress party, and also Telangana government. Some of the people alleging something in Telangana, but we are complete against that kind of slogans. Why? Because we, the people of India, everywhere in India, every person or every community, every caste people are equal in Indian territory. So some political motivations is there. Some of the people, some individuals also encouraging these kind of alleging and also communal imbalances or communal contrasts. So Telangana government always against this kind of things, and also Congress party chief also, Mahesh Gowda also condemned this.
I have a simple question, Mr. Adhikari. Mr. Dayakar, if I apologize for mispronouncing your name, Mr. Dayakar, your take on whether this campaign should be completely clamped down on, will you be clamping down on it? Go back Marwaris is nothing but a hate campaign. Will you stop it and nip it at its bud? And what are you going to do to ensure that the locals are also feeling secure at the same time?
Yes, we're plan to meeting those two versatile voices. Why? Because some of the people are students always against to the Marwadi community. Marwadi community, they are watching and also they are maintaining patience regarding these issues. So we are moved to tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We are planning to congregate all the people and also resolve the issue. Why? Because this is the tomorrow's major problem. Why? Because Marwadi versus locals. Not Marwadis also locals. Why? Because 200 years back, 300 years back, they came here.
Right, you're saying this. Correct. Right from the time of the Mughal era, we believe they were working with the Mughals, then they were working with the British, then they were working with the Nizams. And So, so the Marwaris are as Telugu as can be.
Also, a lot of the people lived in Nizamabad, part and parcel of the Adilabad.
So here
they
you have,
don't know the Marwari area also, some of the people. They know Telangana only.
absolutely.
So they are the
for generations they've been there, and they are a migrant community. Marwaris are known to be migrant community, hailing from Rajasthan. They've migrated all over. This is one virtue of the Marwaris are that they go looking for opportunities, and this has happened through generations, and their communities have spread all across many parts of southern India. I come from Karnataka, and I know the huge, robust Marwari community that is in Bengaluru, and the amount that they contribute to the Karnataka economy, right? So if anything, we should encourage it. We should encourage fair competition, but at the same time, the locals have doubts, and they are worried that Marwaris are hijacking the market, that counterfeit goods are being sold, etc. Is this true?
No, ma'am. A lot of the people, they supporting the locals. In Hyderabad, lot of communities also depending on Marwadi's business also. Why? Because they are wholesalers.
Employing people, yeah.
Right? They helped a lot of the communities also, I know. Some of the 2-3 communities are some effect, like goldsmiths and Padmashali.
Okay.
Some
so
of
from
the
what I get from
communities,
you, a sense
there
that I
is
get
no
from you,
problem
Mr.
with,
Dayakar,
doubts,
that this
no.
campaign is completely misplaced and the Congress government will clamp down on it. That's what you're saying.
Yes. We are watching seriously, but there is a sensitive. Why? Because some of the people raising like Telangana movement. So this is not a fair part of that people. We are watching seriously.
Bring
we
in
are
our
always
BJP.
thinking about the Marwadi's intentions also. Why? Because
Okay,
they are sensitive.
Now, I
fellows.
do have a question to ask Mr. Bura Narsaya God. He's been a former MP, BJP Telangana. Sir, your take on how the Congress government is allowing this heckling and targeting of the Marwari communities because they support the BJP, because they are the champions of Sanatan Dharm, that's why they are being targeted. Is that's the stand that the BJP has taken, saying because they are supporting us, they are being targeted. Is that right?
Now, first of all, I wish to state, because you are being watched by the entire country.
Sure.
The problem what you have been telling here regarding the Marwadi go back is not even a minuscule. Because in Telangana, Telangana mentality is that they accept each and everybody as their own kith and kin. That is the culture of the Telangana people. So this kind of a thing, what happened, is a minor incident, must have been happened in a small place because of the various local issues, but it is not a state problem, to be frank, because I want to set the record straight.
That Marwari campaign has spread across different parts of Telangana, sir, which is why we are having a national debate.
No, it's not, because here everybody second is, there is a political element in this also.
Okay.
Because, see, Marwadis is very visible. In Telangana, they are very much mingled with the local population. In fact, most of the Marwadi people are even marrying the local population. They are having the family relations also. So they are well integrated into the Telangana society. And in Telangana, there is no language problem also. Because
so then
in Telangana,
what is the problem? Where is this problem stemmed from? A silly parking dispute, yes. But how did it become so big?
And second thing is, in Telangana, unlike Karnataka or Maharashtra, there is no language problem also. Because most of the Telangana people understand Hindi. Most of the Marwari people,
and more importantly, the Marwaris also know Telugu. They've also learned the language. So give them credit on that.
So they have well integrated into Telugu. Sometimes you don't know who is Marwadi, who is Telugu people also. So that is definitely there is some element, because the way in social media is occurring, there is some backing by some political elements who want to create a political.
But Congress is saying we don't support this. We are going to shut it down. This is rubbish.
I'm happy. Dayakar, my friend, has categorically stated that he condemns. I am happy about it because we don't want a divisive politics. We want a development politics.
But you were very quick to make a statement. BJP says that because Marwaris support Sanatan Dharm, because Marwaris support BJP, they are being targeted. You have made it political.
No, we are not. See, they have been politically targeted by some elements which will come out truth. Because I don't want to put a particular party or something. There is some element of a political, because sentiment politics they want to play, some parties.
Okay.
Because
from what we know, the moot issue here is largely about how locals feel that the Marwaris are basically carrying out unfair trade practices. So this is more of a trade war than anything else, which ideally should be clamped down on, because if anything, then it exposes the policy failure. Ideally, the government should ensure policies where locals are hired adequately, that they are given fair treatment. That is a policy failure if the locals are feeling insecure then.
No, definitely.
You can't blame the Marwaris for it.
No. Basically what happened in Telangana is, after the Congress came into the power, every sector is down. It was a highest per capita income is there in Telangana, highest one of the growing GDP. Unfortunately, after the Congress came into the real estate has come to so much down, everybody is feeling the heat of lack of a cash in their pockets. From a small coolie to the big businessman.
That's a total failure in governance itself. What you're saying is true, that's failure in governance, and that has to be tackled.
That is really igniting the emotions.
Okay.
That is really igniting the emotion.
But this emotion is being directed towards the wrong avenue. A quick word as last question here to Mr. Sai Shekhar, who's our journalist with us, senior journalist. Well, sir, your take on this Go Back Marwari campaign. We've not seen it anywhere else in India, but it's true that many parts of southern India, they have this certain level of resentment against Marwaris, Gujaratis, saying that they kind of hijack trade and take away opportunities that ideally belong to the locals.
As far as Telangana is concerned, what happened on 16th of August, that road rage incident, one has to see it only as a localized issue, number one. Number two, it's unfortunate, Nabila, that every small thing, if my finger is aching, that is becoming a national issue. You see, Raj Thackeray's team has beaten up people in Maharashtra, and similar incidents have happened in Karnataka. Nothing such has happened in Telangana or even Andhra Pradesh. And our Chief Minister, Mr. Revanth Reddy, is touring across the world and inviting people from across the globe to come and invest in Telangana. And do you think this government will perpetrate, violence against Marwadis and sponsor an agitation of Marwadi go back? No, that is wrong. Even during KCR's regime also, Telangana is a place which accommodates everyone. Per se, I belong to Andhra. I come from Andhra, but I've been here for the last 40 years. And we have become an integral part of the state. Nobody discriminates anyone on the basis of religion, caste, creed, or their communal, their community, or any other allegiance. This is unfortunate, number one. It's a local issue. As a journalist, I appeal to all political parties to come together onto one platform, and then they should make an appeal, because everything is getting politicized. Actually, this incident and this issue has got nothing to do with politics. I don't know what provoked Mr. Bandi Sanjay Kumar, our Honorable Union Minister of State for Home Affairs. For all the department, he is representing Home Department. He has suddenly come onto the bikes and started talking about Sanatan Dharma and all. See, there is a concern, I tell you, Nabila, economic anxiety, and then cultural assimilation, and local versus non-local. This kind of dispute is arising because Marwadis usually they bring their people from their state, from among their relatives.
Every community does that. Every caste does that. Every religion does that.
Yes, to protect their own interests. That is what we want separate Telangana. Agitation has happened here. Why? because people wanted their self-governance. So we have to respect that, and I am very sure Mr. Revanth Reddy or Mr. Chandrasekhar Rao or even Mr. Kishan Reddy is in favor of any agitation like this. The Marwari go back.
So we've heard very clearly the Congress spokesperson saying that they condemn it. So they're not going to be encouraging it.
There is no political sponsorship.
And that's the takeaway from this. I'm going to keep this as the final takeaway so that the Marwari community can rest in peace. This is a one-off isolated instance. It should finish at the earliest. We're taking a word from the Congress leader on the panel. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all of you for joining us here today.
Thank you.
All right. Well, let me take you through all the top stories quickly. As our story number one, we're taking you through big news on Mumbai's rains. In fact, let me shift to visuals coming in of Mumbai's monorail breakdown. Mumbai rains that's really devastated the city and Maharashtra itself extensively. Nearly 21 people have died owing to rains in just the last few days. The latest instance, here is a Mumbai monorail that's broken down. It's been nearly 2 hours since it's stranded because of no power, electricity. Over 150 people have been stranded. The monorail has been stranded, we believe, between Chembur and Bhakti Park due to power outage. Visuals there showing commuters trying to break windows, but by then the Mumbai Fire Brigade rescued them and nearly 300 people have been taken out of that monorail. Relentless rains has brought Mumbai to its knees. The images are harrowing. These are initial visuals of the Mumbai monorail. Now, situation by and large is bad in Mumbai. We're looking at flooded railway tracks across stations like Kurla, Sion, Andheri, Borivali. Traffic has collapsed in most parts of Mumbai city. Major junctions completely choked. Entire stretches waterlogged. Dramatic incident where we saw a man being swept away in raging Methi River near Powai. Locals there desperately tried to save him as well. That's there, the visual that came in where this man was really hanging on to life. And in Thane, a car was almost completely submerged inside flooded underpass. Panic-stricken passengers there had to be rescued by locals wading through waist-deep waters. In fact, the Met Department has issued a red alert for Mumbai, warning that the next 48 hours could be even worse. So far, 6 lives have been lost in Mumbai. Hundreds evacuated, over 290 people rescued in Nanded alone. We hear initial recent reports in fact suggest that all across Maharashtra nearly 21 people may have succumbed to rains. All right, a quick look at Prime Minister Modi meeting with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. These are the images that came in a little earlier. In fact, fresh images there of Wang Yi meeting with Prime Minister Modi. He's also taken invitation from Chinese President Xi to Modi to be part of the SCO summit in Tianjin. And the word we have here is that Prime Minister Modi has agreed to be part of the SCO summit in China. The talks between India and China focused around tensions since the 2020 standoff in Ladakh. Modi has stressed on peace along the borders and China has complied. China has offered also to mediate. In fact, this is what we hear, that to the spokesperson of the foreign ministry has said to India that China is willing to mediate the conflict between India and Pakistan. If both countries are willing to involve China, then Beijing is more than willing to be the peacemaker. This is precisely what has been said. So these are images speaking for a lot. India-China finally coming together, it appears, after years of hostilities. And it seems like the Trump tariffs have nudged the two neighbors to come on one page. All right, a story, very disappointing one and scary. A chilling health scare that's come to light from Kerala. Kerala officials have confirmed the presence of a deadly amoeba in well water, the same water consumed by a 9-year-old girl who tragically died last week in Kozhikode district. In fact, not an isolated case we hear. It's the 4th such death due to this amoeba that's been found in well water in Kerala. Families are worried. This girl, sadly a resident of Tamarassery, developed a sudden fever on August 13th. Her condition worsened rapidly. She was shifted to Kozhikode Medical Facility. Sadly, despite treatment, she passed away within hours. Lab tests have confirmed that she had contracted amoebic encephalitis, In fact, this is a rare condition, but almost fatal, always fatal. If one attracts it, then it's always fatal. And it's caused by a free-living amoeba that thrives in contaminated freshwater sources like wells, rivers and lakes. Health teams immediately tested the well water at her house and the results were alarming. The same amoeba was detected. Officials then launched a fever survey in the locality. The girl's brother also developed fever, is now under close observation. So this could be infectious, and the symptoms are brain infection, fever. This rare infection is terrifying because it's progressing rapidly and it leaves doctors with very little time with the patients because the one can get critical very fast. And this girl's case is a grim reminder. All right, let me take you quickly through a heart-wrenching story coming in from Karnataka. A 4-year-old girl in Karnataka was bitten by a stray dog nearly 4 months ago, has died of rabies. While at a time the Supreme Court has ordered for stray dogs to be taken off the streets in Delhi, here are more cases of dog bites coming in. A 4-year-old girl in Bengaluru who's been bitten, she died of rabies. Khadira Banu was undergoing treatment at the hospital, and despite multiple rounds of treatment, she succumbed, highlighting once again the deadly consequences of unchecked stray dog attacks. Her death has again reignited the outrage over rising number of dog bite incidents across the country. Karnataka Lokayukta has slammed the BBMP for failing to control the stray dog menace after a probe exposed how aggressive dogs were not being isolated or monitored despite appeals. So Supreme Court, in a desperate direction, said in Delhi NCR all stray dogs must be moved out. Animal activists came forward, said this is not done, you can't ill-treat animals. But cases like this really leave us wondering what's to be done at the earliest, with immediate urgency, if there could be a solution. This young girl's death has really left a lot of questions again. Thanks very much for watching us. I will be right here same time tomorrow. Have a great night.
Papa, let's go to the happy birthday, Duda. I love you. Go, Duda, go. I love my Duda. I love my Duda.
Skoda.
Score condoms?
It's over there.
क्या ये different sizes में आता है?
Actually, sir, size matter नहीं करता.
तो फिर क्या matter करता है?
The hardness
Of the condom.
of what's inside.
For the first time ever, presenting Hard Rock Gel, the hardness gel for men.
अब फ्री हर स्कोर कॉन्डम्स के 10 पैक के साथ.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
Sir, try berry pulao. Too good. Good, no?
Hey, why are you giving him such looks? Ignore tips and use your own mind before you order. Lots of people give unsolicited stock tips. It can be dangerous. Study the company and the risk associated. Invest only after analyzing.
What is to the nines? In literal terms, it's perfection. But to us, it's not just a phrase, it's an attitude. One that starts at your desk and sends a statement to the world. To the nines is about taking charge. It's a way of life where every seam, every fold, is crafted with excellence. It's timeless elegance and uncompromising quality made for the corner office. It's the ideas that inspire redefining order and elevating the tabletop. To the nines, for the leaders of today and the visionaries of tomorrow.
Every brand tells a story. And they are the storytellers. the Sutradhars. They present a brand with band, baja and barat to you. They are the Brandwalas.
Light, camera and action. Kick back, relax, grab your favorite snack because News 9 is here with your weekend dose of entertainment. It's time to take a deeper dive into the buzzworthy happenings of the entertainment world. From celebrity gossips to exclusive conversations, from nostalgic moments to News 9's pick of the week, don't worry, we've got you covered here. And I hope you've grabbed your popcorn by now because News 9's page 3 is here to serve you everything that we call entertainment. So do stay tuned every Saturday and Sunday, 2:30 p.m.
Hi, this is Baman Irani.
Hi, this is Karishma Tanna. Hi, I'm Nusha Bharucha. Catch this conversation on News 9. Catch this conversation on News 9. Catch me and this conversation on News 9.
Hi, this is Shahid Kapoor and catch this conversation on News 9.
A small window of hope has opened for Nimisha Priya. You know, human beings live by hope. Is Vijay challenging Dravidian party? Payments have been made, but no books inside. If there is corruption at the BU office, maybe I want to learn Hindi, that I do not know how to speak Kannada. Go to the second part.
To have Hindi compulsion.
2 kids were asked to clean the toilet because of their caste. All these kids were forced to do it. I will clearly protest against this. 3 passes, Mr. Gowda. People rush. I'm asking you, what makes Palaniswamy so confident? We're sitting on moral boulders. Tamil Nadu seems to have become extremely unsafe.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi meets Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The PM stresses peace and stability on the border, welcomes progress in bilateral ties since the Kazan meet, and accepts President Xi Jinping's invitation to the SCO summit to take place in Tianjin later. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar arrives in Moscow on a 3-day official visit to strengthen bilateral relations between India and Russia. Heavy rainfall continues to wreak havoc across Maharashtra, claiming 16 lives, bringing Mumbai to a near standstill. The Chief Minister says the next 48 hours are going to be very critical. Mumbai monorail train was stuck between 2 stations due to power failure amidst the downpour. Over 200 people have been rescued so far. Fire team is still at the spot. Late night rescue operations, even as the Chief Minister assures safe rescue and orders a probe into the matter. The NCERT introduces 2 modules on Operation Sindoor for classes 3rd to 12th, highlighting India's mission to protect peace and honor lives lost in the Pahalgam terror attack. The Supreme Court hearing on bill deadlines to continue on the 20th of August. CJI says President seeking court opinion is not unconstitutional and this will not affect the verdict regarding the pending bills in Tamil Nadu case. Tensions rise in Namanagalu as Marwari go back slogans echo across the town. Local traders accuse Marwari traders of selling cheap goods, hurting native shops and jobs. The BJP backs the Marwari community. Tensions rife. A political storm hits the Asia Cup 2025. Opposition slamming the India-Pakistan match, criticizing BCCI over blood money. Donald Trump says Putin may not want to make a deal on Ukraine, warns the Kremlin leader of rough situation if there is no deal made. 300 millimeters of rainfall in a short span of 24 hours. 550 millimeters of rainfall over the weekend, and all of this coming down on Mumbai. This is a month-long rain spell in less than 72 hours. 16 lives that have been lost. Mumbai, the city that never sleeps, it's once again come to a grinding halt with its infrastructure collapsing under the fury of the rains. Torrential downpour has left the city gasping, with railway tracks now flooded, passengers left stranded, and the traffic gridlocked and paralyzed. And even a monorail, rescue operations on your screens, a monorail that's stuck mid-air now for hours. In Navi Mumbai, panic gripped nearly 350 passengers after a monorail broke down on an elevated track, this near the Mysore Colony station. A power snag left the overcrowded rake in darkness. Rescuers tried towing it with another train, but jammed brakes complicated the operation. So far, over 200 passengers have been evacuated. It's a gruesome rescue operation. Take a look at it for yourselves. The fire tenders, at least 3 teams that earlier rushed to the spot, and using these large trolleys, they're now one by one rescuing more than 200 passengers who were left stranded on this monorail hanging up in the middle of the air. And efforts are on to rescue the rest and the remaining people over there.
पढ़ना कोई नई कहानी नहीं है, मोनोरेल तो हमेशा बंद पड़ता है। एक बात अलग है कि इस बार बहुत ज्यादा ओवरलोडेड हो गया, इसकी वजह से टिल्ट हो गया। यहाँ पर खड़े होकर के 1 घंटा से ज्यादा हो गया। और सबसे बड़ी समस्या ये थी कि सफोकेशन ज्यादा हो रहा था। मैं तो अस्थिर था, लेकिन बहुत सारे लेडीज जो अभी भी फंसे हुए हैं, उनको सफोकेशन हो रहा है, बहुत परेशान हो रहे हैं। तो खिड़की तो अभी लास्ट मोमेंट में अंदर से जबरदस्ती तोड़ा है, तब जाकर के थोड़ी सी हवा मिली है। नहीं तो 1 घंटे से मोनोरेल खड़ा था, वेंटिलेशन का कोई साधन नहीं। इतना पतला सा एक कांच का है, उसको हल्का सा घुमा करके, इतनी पैक पब्लिक है, वो थोड़ा सा वेंटिलेशन क्या काम में आएगा? कुछ भी काम में नहीं आएगा।
हाँ, नहीं कोई तकलीफ नहीं, सब सुरक्षित है। खाली किसी का बीपी बढ़ रहा है, किसी का तकलीफ हो रहा है। 2 घंटे से एसी चालू नहीं है, कुछ नहीं, सब बंद है। लाइट भी, हाँ, घबराहट हो रही है सबको। बहुत जन को चक्कर भी आ गए अंदर।
तो आपको कोई चोट नहीं लगी?
नहीं, मैं सुरक्षित है, खाली बीपी बढ़ गया था मेरा क्योंकि हार्ट का ऑपरेशन हुआ है।
1500 लोग, 500 तो डेफिनेटली रह गए। पूरा गाड़ी पैक था, क्योंकि आधा घंटे के बाद ये ट्रेन आई थी, और उसकी वजह से अंदर ओवरलोड हो गया। अंदर लोड के वजह से गाड़ी का जो एग्जॉस्ट वो बंद हो गया। अंदर कोई भी आपातकालीन स्थिति के लिए कोई भी ये नहीं थी, चीज नहीं थी।
सब पेशेंट थे वहाँ पे, कोई ऐसा स्ट्रेसफुल नहीं था। बट ऑब्वियसली सीनियर सिटीजन और किड्स भी थे, तो प्रॉब्लम तो होती है सबको निकलने में। वो तो कम्युनिकेशन था, प्लस वहाँ पे साउंड प्रूफ तो आवाज़ नहीं आती है, तो उनको हमको बताना पड़ा ये मोबाइल नंबर पे कॉल बैक करिए, तब ऐसे कॉल होता है।
एम्बुलेंस सारे आए हेल्प करने के लिए। वी डेफिनेटली वेर देयर। आई एम अ डॉक्टर, मैं खुद खड़ी रही यहाँ कि अगर हेल्प चाहिए तो वी कैन हेल्प इट आउट। पुलिस ने भी बोल के भरा, बट एवरी टाइम हम लोग इससे कम्युनिकेट कर रहे थे टू गिव इंस्ट्रक्शंस। वी वर
पुलिस बार-बार अपील करती थी।
2 लेडीज थी जो सफोकेट हुई, बट बाकी काफी लोगों से उन्होंने काफी हेल्प किया। बट डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट और अच्छा होना चाहिए।
ये जो भारी बारिश की वजह से, हार्बर लाइन बंद होने की वजह से मोनोरेल के ऊपर जो पैसेंजर है मोनोरेल में बैठ गए, मोनोरेल की तरफ डाइवर्ट हो गया, और इसलिए कैपेसिटी से ज्यादा और क्राउड मोनोरेल होने की वजह से यहाँ पर मोनोरेल बंद हुई, और उसका जो पावर ब्रेकडाउन होने की वजह से इमरजेंसी ब्रेक लग गई, और इमरजेंसी ब्रेक लगने की वजह से ही ये मोनो बंद हुई है। और निश्चित रूप से ये जो हादसा हुआ है ये दोबारा ना हो, इसके लिए पूरी तरह कोशिश की जाएगी।
Well, that's the situation. The power failure halting Mumbai's monorail. And whilst we're telling you, take a look at that. This is how Mumbai came to a grinding halt. People pushing the cars, having to wade through chest-deep water, at least 12 inches of water across the central railway line that was shut down. It is the heartline of the Mumbaikars. And of course, Mumbaikar not for beginners. Rainfall is nothing new for Mumbai, but these are unprecedented scenes, needless to say. Not that this amount of rainfall has not come down heavily on Mumbai before, but then again, those questions that now come to light about our strong drainage systems and our climate resilient infrastructure building. The railway tracks, They were completely shut down. The trains weren't moving, and people then resorted to taking matters into their own hands and walking on these railway lines, the medium gauge, the large gauge. That's how they were commuting between these railway stations. A lot of people that still got onto the railway tracks because not many were as privileged as those who got work from home. So many of Mumbaikars, many of them traveling from Thane, coming down upon Mumbai. Mumbai is about 1.5 crore people. Thane has got another 1.5 crore people. But people from Mumbai suburbs descend upon Mumbai for their daily work. There's a lot of burden on the maximum city that clearly has minimum infrastructure. In terms of preparedness, what was really done? That's the big question. On the ground, Mumbai's lifeline, the local trains, they came to a halt. Relentless showers submerged Central Railway's main and harbour lines. At Kurla, waterlogging forced commuters to abandon trains, walk along the tracks. From Sion to Andheri, Borivali to Thane, waterlogging crippled the city. Roads caved in, traffic collapsed, emergency services struggling to keep up. A red alert that has now been issued, warning that the next few hours could bring more chaos. In Thane, a car was swallowed whole by a flooded underpass, with desperate bystanders pulling people to safety. With all of that and the ordeal of Mumbaikars on display, Dr. Sudhir Krishna, former Secretary, Urban Development, Government of India, is with us on the broadcast. Dr. Krishna, you've been talking to us relentlessly when it comes to, the climate change warnings coming to us from the Himalayan belt, vis-a-vis all the cloudbursts and the flash floods. But come monsoon season, this is a picture that you can vouch for coming from the Mumbai city. What is it that we now need to do? The monorail is stuck up there. I mean, these are quite dangerous scenes, not just apathetic.
Well, I think the monorail thing we can discuss first, because it is a relatively new unfortunate happening. And I think the drill for rescuing people, it can happen any time. I mean, monorail or metro rail, they can get stuck for one or the other reason. There is a drill, which evacuation drill is available. But somehow I don't think it has been done appropriately. I mean, the last coach has to be opened, and a proper, ladder has to be put in a systematic good ladder where people can conveniently come out. And there can be ladder on both the sides also. These are all standard drills are there. I don't see it here, and that kind of, even the ladder they have put is also not wide enough. So I think this is an opportunity to reflect and find out as to how it can be avoided in the future. It's a very important thing, because monorail and even metro rail also on elevated tracks, this can happen, so it can get jammed here and there. So it is very unfortunate, and we are having more and more metro and monorails in the country. So it is high time that all sit together. All the metro rail and monorail, the operators.
Even the first responders, Dr. Krishna, there were a couple of doctors, I'm sure you heard their reactions as well. They're saying that, the fire tenders were quick to reach the spot, but disaster management has to be better. It has to be better. And on a day like today?
Absolutely. And as far as rainfall is concerned, I think that there are all arrangements in terms of policies and principles are in place. But somebody has to take the charge of putting in place. For example, of course, this rainfall is extraordinarily heavy, no doubt about it. But the issue is that how soon the water can be cleared. But the way things are, I don't think the water will clear so soon. And it is very dangerous also. Not only it impedes the movement of people, even it is unhygienic also. It can cause the spread of diseases also, because sewage water will mix up with the rainwater and it will mess up everything, and it may cause all kinds of dangerous diseases spreading all over the city. So that is one thing. But what we have to do is now immediately, Mumbai has a special challenge because it is a coastal city, and also the level is very low, and also there are other challenges also for Mumbai especially. Otherwise, every other city, Delhi, Gurgaon, you name the city, Bangalore, whenever it rains, they get flooded. Mumbai has a special challenge because it is on the coast, and there are certain areas which are low-lying. They are lower level than the land level is lower than the high tide level. But we are having construction in those areas also. So instead of those areas holding water, they are causing more construction is causing more disruption to flow of water. That is one thing. And secondly, Mumbai especially had a lot of mangroves, like all coastal areas. Most coastal areas have mangroves, which impede the tidal ingress. But the mangroves are being removed in large number. And today the position is that in many coastal countries, like Vietnam and Southeast Asian countries and China, they are cultivating mangroves on the coastline. But here we are removing mangroves from the coastline. This is a very unfortunate thing. So we have to take care that we are disturbing nature right, left and center. That is second. Third thing is that the normal creeks and the normal natural nalas, they are also getting encroached and they are also collapsing because of ill maintenance and construction encroachment.
You're absolutely right, Doctor, because across the world, the sewage flows differently and separately than the stormwater drainage systems. But here, it seems like everything flows together. We don't really know what's happening in terms of our carbon emission. You rightly pointed about, the erosion of the mangroves. It's the coral reefs in some area. It's the mangroves in these coastal belts. And it's not Mumbai alone. The Konkan belt, the Ghat area, central Mumbai, at least for the next 24 hours, under high alert. We're talking about Ratnagiri, Sindhudurg, Raigad, Thane, Mumbai. I mean, what else is left? So the next 24 hours are going to be very crucial. But you've raised pertinent points over here, Dr. Krishna. Many thanks for joining us here on News 9, time and again telling us that it's time for us to pull up our socks when we talk about policy reform and climate resilient infrastructure for our own future. For now, a quick commercial breather here. Top developments right on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
Associate sponsor, Dyna Premium Beauty Soap. पहली झलक करे खूबसूरत.
Papa, let's go to Duda. Happy birthday, Duda. I love you. Go, Duda, go. I love my Duda. I love my
Duda. पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
Chandigarh, Coimbatore, NCR and Bangalore, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Raipur and Hyderabad. We've been here, we've been there, Veka's been just everywhere.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The BJP has targeted the Congress party, accusing it of baseless allegations of vote chori. And this comes after CSDS co-director claimed error in his data and deleted his posts where he claimed significant decrease in the voter list in the 2 Maharashtra Assembly constituencies, as well as a considerable increase in 2 others compared to the Lok Sabha elections, compared with the Assembly election data, and both 6 months apart, alleging voter list manipulation. But the BJP has accused the Congress of peddling an agenda and colluding against the Election Commission. Take a look at this. Since Congress used the now deleted data of the CSDS to validate its vote chori claim, it seems to have weakened its charge now. 2 days after flagging massive voter additions and deletions in the Maharashtra Assembly polls, psephologist Sanjay Kumar of the CSDS, he has backtracked, deleted his posts and apologized for what he called a data error. Sanjay Kumar had claimed that the number of voters in the Nashik West and Hingna Assembly segments rose by 47% and 43% respectively between the Lok Sabha election last and the Maharashtra polls earlier this year. He also claimed that the number of voters sharply fell in the Ramtek and the Devlali seats by 38% and 36% respectively. This gave Congress a fresh ammo amid its vote chori campaign against the Election Commission. And the data was shared by top Congress leaders in an attempt to corner the ruling party. However, the retraction sparked BJP's ire and has now turned into a full-blown political showdown. Leading the charge, BJP's IT cell head Amit Malviya accused CSDS of peddling unverified numbers to feed the Congress's fake narrative. BJP national spokesperson Gaurav Bhatia called CSDS a puppet at the hands of leaders Rahul Gandhi, who could not win the people's trust.
अपने आप को सर्वे संस्था बता रहे हैं, ये कुछ नहीं है, ये कठपुतली है राहुल गांधी जैसे नेताओं के हाथ में, जो जनता का विश्वास तो नहीं जीत पाते, लेकिन बेबुनियाद आरोप लगाने के लिए उनको ऐसी एक संस्था चाहिए जो कि फेक डेटा, गलत तथ्य परोसे और उसको फिर वायरल किया जाए और सोशल मीडिया पे और प्रिंट और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया में कहा जाए, देखिए फलानी संस्था ने कहा है कि इस तरह से हमारे देश में जो चुनाव प्रणाली है उसमें धांधलेबाजी होती है.
Well, now the controversy comes even as Congress continues its campaign accusing the Election Commission of colluding with the BJP. The poll body has rejected those allegations, asking Rahul Gandhi to either file an affidavit or retract his allegations. And for now, while Sanjay Kumar admits his mistake, the central question really is, with today's developments, the retraction, is the chapter on vote roll irregularities closed, or is it still an open debate? Let's hear our panelists on that. Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst, with us on the broadcast. Very warm welcome to you, Tehseen. Always a pleasure. Savio Rodriguez, political analyst. Very warm welcome to you, Savio, as well. How do we look at this? The central question being, is the chapter on vote roll irregularities, is that closed now, or is it still an open debate? Let's go to Savio first. With the Congress cited data now discredited, do you believe with today's developments, with what happened with Sanjay Kumar, does that put the voter roll irregularities debate to rest once and for all? How are you looking at it?
Well, Kabir, I don't think the voter irregularity or the voter data irregularity is a closed chapter. There are issues that will continue with that. And until the Election Commission of India gives justifiable answers to the question raised, I believe the opposition will continue to ask the questions that they believe are the questions that they need to ask. However, the most important thing in this entire fiasco with CSDS is that personally, and this is my personal opinion, it's not a measurement of what psephologists and cephalogist companies do. I personally think that most people should take data of psephologists not with a pinch of salt, but with a bag of salt. And they are understanding their supposed data revelations, the supposed data that comes out during the exit polls, which we have seen go completely awry a couple of times in the past. These are not measures to define a political slugfest that we've been seeing over a period of time, over the last couple of weeks, over what is a serious allegation of voter manipulation. And if the Congress and the opposition have based their entire, trailing guns based on CSDS's data, for which he has apologized, and I believe there should be criminal culpability with regards to the kind of information that was put out, and a mere sorry is not just enough. I think the opposition would be making a mistake, and I don't think the opposition is so foolish to rely completely on the data, because the concern of voter irregularity is a serious concern, and I think every one of us, whether you're opposition or whether you're ruling, or whether you're the Election Commission, which is the main body that looks at electoral rolls, must be concerned if there is voter manipulation or voter data manipulation that is happening.
All right. Tehseen, let's bring you in. Most people should take the cephalogist's data with a bag of salt, is what Savio says. But is the Congress parties and the opposition's entire vote fraud campaign, is it entirely based on the CSDS data? I mean, with these retractions that have taken place today, is the larger issue still alive? Does that still warrant, national discussion?
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And good evening to Savio. There are two issues that are primarily need to come in front of the viewers. Issue number one, was the Congress's allegations based on CSDS? No, it wasn't. It was based on the Election Commission of India data. In fact, the Election Commission of India, as you rightly said, asked the Honorable Leader of Opposition to file an affidavit. It was their data which the Election Commission of India has not denied. And as my friend Savio said, even the Member of Parliament from the Bharatiya Janata Party, he flagged flaws in the electoral rolls in various constituencies, 6 Lok Sabha constituencies, and even he cited the ECI data. CSDS, and I spoke to the people in CSDS, including, and I saw what Sanjay said to the media, his data was to check whether what Congress said was correct or no, because there were different numbers put out, and his numbers in any case never matched the Congress numbers for Maharashtra. So let's not confuse the two issues. Now the issues that Congress are raising is to do with Karnataka and Bihar, and CSDS has come out with Maharashtra, They are not in the numbers Congress is given because they've given the ECI data, but now suddenly that is being cited to give the entire process a clean sheet, what the Election Commission of India is saying. The questions for the Election Commission of India to answer are the following. Is it true that one person has multiple epic numbers? Or as they've shown, one person is registered in multiple places and that vote hasn't gone? Is it true that there are multiple one-bedroom houses where there are more than 40 or 50 people shown to have registered to a single one-bedroom address? Is it true that the data as cited by the leader of opposition and Anurag Thakurji, the member of parliament, both have seen serious flaws? Lastly, let me go to Bihar. The election commissioner in his press conference said, look, the number of people dead in the SIR is not in the last 1 year. These are the number of people dead since 2003. If that is the case, if they are the people dead since 2003, forget the special intensive revision. Every year you have a summary revision. Why weren't they removed? These are the questions that the election commission is refusing to answer. I have one more point. The most honorable Home Minister of India, Amit Shah ji, in Bihar said, the reason the opposition is raising these issues is because foreigners, Ghuspetiyas, from Bangladesh and Nepal are coming into India and voting. So the question that the Election Commission of India needs to ask, did these people vote in the 2024 election? If they did, shouldn't the Election Commission of India resign? If they didn't vote and they've come after 2024, shouldn't the Honorable Home Minister of India resign? These are the questions. It's got nothing to do with what Sanjay Kumar has said. It's being deliberately confused.
Well, how do you respond to those pertinent points that Tehseen has now, raised? The entire vote Adhikar rally is not mounted on the CSDS data. And then you've got Amit Malvi who says Rahul Gandhi must immediately abandon his Ghuspetiya Bachao Yatra. Where does this leave Rahul Gandhi and the Congress, which brazenly targeted the Election Commission and went so far as to brand genuine voters as fake? He calls Rahul Gandhi shameful, the entire voter charge, the Adhikar rally as shameful. Where does this now leave the opposition, and where does this now leave the ruling dispensation? Is this going to affect the upcoming assembly elections? Let's say Bihar in focus.
Is that for me?